Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now we head to Southern Africa, where as the efforts are underway to address energy issues and powering Africa, there is a need to increase emphasis on sustainable and innovative financing solutions to build resilient, efficient and inclusive energy systems across Africa. South Africa is hosting a landmark event that will bring together 40 African delegates from 10 confirmed African countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, Angola, DRC, Egypt, Kenya, Mozambique, Uganda, Zambia and Zimbabwe, to engage in a comprehensive exploration of South Africa's energy capabilities and project opportunities across the continent. Under discussions will be key conversations for collaborating with key players in the energy sector and sharing broad engagement in the sector, including innovations that allows funding of early-stage technology in the energy transition sector, develop alternative green corridors, and partnering with developers and investors to fund renewable energy projects in Africa. To discuss this further, I am joined by CEO Captree and Energy Chair Transition Committee, Nigeria, Showunmi Olabode. Hello, Showunmi. Thank you so much for joining us at this time.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you, as always.
It's a pleasure. All right, so how do you think Nigeria's participation in this conference will benefit the country's energy sector?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, it's a gathering of like minds on the African continent. I think one of the things that we have not done well enough is to speak to neighbors and to speak to friends. Now, Nigeria is a premier energy country. We have about 200 trillion cubic feet of gas, which accounts for the largest in Africa and more than 3% of global gas reserves. However, most of our gas contracts, which are long-term contracts, we have it with Asia, we have it with Korea, we have it with Japan. And on the other hand, you have another behemoth in Africa, which is South Africa, which imports its gas from the US. It doesn't need much intelligence for you to know that South Africa, it will cost less for them to import some gas from Nigeria, and it will help Nigeria more to also interact with them. There is business to be done within African nations. And that is why this kind of platform creates opportunities for discussions.
So speaking of the business, to be done with African nations, what are your expectations from the event?
So basically from the event, there has been some discussions. We visited an electrochemical company yesterday in Johannesburg, and the gentleman who was with us from one of the power companies in Zimbabwe already made some orders, and he already signed some contracts, because some of the things that they were looking at, which was pinpoint, was what the company met. The company also is able to talk about infrastructure protection in terms of corrosion protection and pipeline maintenance and pipeline integrity assurance protection too, which can be useful in Nigeria. But if we don't talk, we cannot do business. So fundamentally, there are solutions and there are strategies and the advantages that exist in South Africa, and there are opportunities that also exist in Nigeria. So there must be a marriage and a merger of like minds for the two countries to be able to benefit each other. And we don't spend all the time talking about xenophobia and the things that don't matter, when there are so many things that can matter for both nations.
All right, so show me now, can you highlight any specific areas of focus for Nigeria's delegation, such as renewable energy, gas, or even nuclear power?
Okay, so there were some opportunities within renewable energy, primarily because South Africa has overcome its own load shedding. I think in the last 6 or 9 months, they've not had to do load shedding, which practically means that they have gone back to stability. They have automated their grid. So they are way above us, where we have grid failure in a few times. So there are things that we can learn from each other. Those are the options that are there. But more importantly, very significantly is the fact that there is funding available. The Developmental Bank of Southern Africa, has indicated that they're able to invest in infrastructure projects, whether it be rail, whether it be pipelines, up to the tune of $200 to $300 million, and which will be good news for Nigeria. So basically, like I said in the beginning, there are opportunities here, but we need to talk. We need to engage each other to be able to take advantage of those opportunities.
All right, now speaking of those opportunities, no doubt that this conference is actually a huge opportunity for Nigeria. How does Nigeria plan to leverage international partnerships and collaborations to drive its energy sector development?
So when you say Nigeria, so you need to understand that that's a loose term. So the way government will take advantage of this kind of opportunities is different from the way private sector will take advantage of these opportunities. It will even be different from the way civil society and media will take advantage of the opportunities. What is important is that this kind of events are intellectual marketplaces. What that means is that there is an aggregation of intellectual knowledge, intellectual capacity, intellectual know-how. And just like every household goes to the market to purchase what they need for the week. So everybody that comes to this intellectual marketplace, whether it be government, whether it be private sector, will come with their own needs and will get their own needs met. So when you say what does Nigeria have to benefit, is a very loose term. Okay. It depends on which one. So private sector is different, public sector is different, civil society is different.
All right, it's a pleasure having you speak to us, Show Me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is always mine.